So yeah, I'm Ivan Pfahl, and I guess most of you know me from the software testing course. I will talk about one of our many master's programs. This one is about software engineering. So, and of course, actually behind these programs are many more people than just the program director. We have our admin office, which you also know from the program, and several people are involved, like Maria, for example. But this program, the software engineering program, is in a way special, different at least as to the other two programs that will be introduced today, because it's done together with TalTech. And that's why there are even more people. There's, for example, Kanter, who is kind of my counterpart at TalTech, and he will be guiding the program for those who pick the software engineering master's program and the embedded systems specialization. So let's see what actually is the reasons why originally this program was created. I guess you all know that one of the biggest assets of Estonia as a country is, of course, the IT industry. And it's growing and growing and growing, and probably one of the reasons why I'm here abroad is because of that. And that means there is a need not only of educated programmers coming from the bachelor programs, but also students who get something on top of the bachelor program. Really study advanced topics in the sense that you work more the people who are going to make decisions in the company. So basically you would be hired in a company after a master's degree, not so that the company, your superiors in the company will tell you what to do, but basically that you tell them what they should do. And as you will see in the next two presentations, we have programs that talk a lot about algorithms, theory, even we want to do something really advanced, quantum computing, distributed system, mobile computing, etc. And then we have even a specialized program on data science. So now why would there be another program on software engineering? So here the point is that in the software engineering program, you mainly learn, first of all, of course, how to develop and maintain properly large software systems. But on top of that, also develop skills that help you to find out what the end users actually want, how they want it, and how to develop stuff in an economic way so that companies can really make a business out of it. And that means that you also will learn communication skills and also management skills in some of the courses, or at least you will learn some skills that make you better understand the business people in the companies when they talk to you as a software guy. So that's why originally this program was introduced, and that's also why it is called T-shape. The T-shape is, even though that it doesn't look like a T, but it's meant to be this green and reddish thing should be on the sides of the blue stuff, which is the core of the program, technical courses on different aspects of software development. But then there's also a bunch of courses talking about helping you to develop your analytic skills and your management and business skills. So now I could already stop. That's in a nutshell the whole program. But of course, I guess you want to know a little bit more about the specializations. It's also the components of the program. So the two specializations are enterprise systems and embedded systems. So what is an enterprise system? An enterprise system is actually a large information system that helps companies to either understand and control and manage their own business processes, or if you develop such systems, you do it in order to help other companies do that. That's what enterprise systems are, and they are quite, they have many different facets, so they can have many different facets. Nowadays, of course, there's a lot of business intelligence involved, a lot of machine learning. That's actually, as you will see in a moment, why in the Masters of Software Engineering program, we even have included machine learning as part of the enterprise specialization module. But there are many more things. It's basically about decision making, making the right decisions. So then the other specialization is embedded systems. That's the part that we mainly taught at TalTech, so I speak a little bit more on behalf of TalTech now. Embedded systems is everything that's kind of directly interacting with hardware and things that move around and things that control machines and so on. So it has to do with the physical world. It's not pure software, right? And again, there are quite many interesting things like cars. You know that we have this autonomous driving lab here in the institute, and of course there's also software involved because you need to, for example, ensure that these software-controlled automatic vehicles are safe. Right? You do that. It's not a trivial thing. Right? Okay. That are the two specializations. So now the structure of the program is like that. In the first semester, you should ideally complete the so-called core module. You see it's only 24 ECTS. The nominal load is 30 ECTS per semester, so there's room for another course. You might then, meaning that you might already take the first course in whatever specialization you choose, or take an optional course, or one of the elective courses. So, as I said, the first semester is core module. The second semester, at the end of the first semester, you must decide whether you want to go for the embedded specialization or the enterprise software specialization. If you choose the embedded, then probably most of the rest of the program will be done at TalTech. If you go for the enterprise software specialization, then more or less the rest of the program will be done by us in the Institute of Computer Science. I will come to the other components also in a moment. Let me first show you the courses in the in the core module and the specialization module. So up here you see the 4 courses. They are basically mandatory courses. You have no choice. You have to take these 4 courses in the core module. Agile software development, systems modeling. This will be taught here in Tartu. Everything in blue will be taught here in Tartu. Everything in red will be taught at TalTech. So the advanced programming course and the software quality and standards course will be taught at in Tallinn at TalTech. So we have special arrangements so that during the first semester you basically go a little bit back and forth, but we have all packaged in such a way that you have to be like 1 day in Tallinn, do the module courses, and the rest you can be here, or maybe on Fridays if you want to take another course in Tallinn. So then once you have decided which way you go, if you pick embedded systems, then you will have a choice of 5 courses from which 4 have to be picked. So 4 out of 5, it's like real-time software development, system programming, embedded software workshop, so more like a hands-on type of course. And they have recently added the course telecommunication services and networks. If you take the enterprise systems specialization, you have many more choices. The only course that's really mandatory is the enterprise system integration course, because it's so fundamental that you must take it. But then you have choices. You can pick 2 courses out of software product management, business process management, requirements engineering, and 1 course from business data analytics, big data, or machine learning. So that would then cover your specialization, but of course it doesn't mean that then you can only pick 4 out of those 7. You can of course pick more, then you would count them as elective courses. Okay, now we come to the electives. In Tallinn at TalTech, they always have an explicit list of elective courses, and it's here, and you will find it on the webpage actually. So these would be courses you could take there, and if you stay in Tartu, basically we have the same agreement as in computer science curriculum, that all courses that our staff teaches to our students, our staff means Institute of Computer Science, is taught on a master's level to students in our programs. They can be picked as electives. There's no need to basically ask. And then we have a new thing, the university demands that the rules are a little bit unclear, but they demand that now, in case you take an Estonian for Beginners course, which probably is not relevant for you sitting here, then you can actually, it will be counted as an elective course. In the past, we had this only as optional, but now we want to count it as elective, meaning that you can take two language courses, cover 12 ECTS. Okay, so then, if you remember the slide a little bit earlier, there was also a practice module. 18 ECTS have to come from practice. So the idea is that you do some sort of internship in a company, and that will be then, you get the credits by in parallel enrolling in some course that will give you the credits. I think now we have a similar thing, a little bit smaller in the bachelor program, so it's kind of the same, just a little bit bigger. Also, but you can also take courses that are a little bit more like internal, like we have courses in our sandbox, which would count as practice module courses, basically courses which are where you do some projects with companies and so on. So it doesn't have to be like a pure internship, but there are other arrangements possible. And actually there will be, once you're enrolled in our programs, then I think the same applies to computer science more or less. There will be special information sessions to explain the details of how to do it. There's, however, one little trick in the software engineering program. Since the mandate when this program was created was that there has to be at least 20% of the ECTS to come from either of the two universities involved. That means if you take the enterprise software specialization, you only have 12 ECTS from TalTech, but you need 24. That means that in that case, you would formally register your practice module courses at TalTech, and so that you cover it. But it's more a formality. We have ways on how to arrange it. You just have to make sure that you don't forget to do it. And in that case, you take the embedded system specialization, you would have to register your practice module in Tartu, so you cover the 24 ECTS from our university. There was, I should go this way. The seminar module, we also have a seminar module consisting of 6 ECTS. There's one mandatory seminar course in the second semester, and basically there's one version here in Tartu. It's the one that I'm teaching, and there's another seminar at TalTech. Both are exactly equal. It's really more meant that if you take embedded specialization, you would take the TalTech seminar. If you do the enterprise, you would probably take my seminar. But you could anyways always use either of the two. And then in the third semester, usually you would take the next seminar course, and there you have a bit more freedom. What you do, ideally, you would take a seminar course that is already related to what you think you will do in your master thesis project. Right, okay. So, and then indeed there is also the master thesis, which is 30 ECTS. And again, also here there are maybe sometimes, it's not fully clear that our master thesis projects can have very many different ways or flavors. So if you, for example, plan to go actually for a PhD, you really want to do research after your master thesis, which indeed would be one of the goals of doing a master's, because you can only do a PhD if you have a master's degree. Then, of course, you would probably do a master thesis with one of our research staff and already do something that is related to their research. That is the one, let's say, extreme case. The other extreme case is that you're maybe already working in a company in the second year of your studies, and you think you would like to do something that is really related to your work. Well, then you do that. Right? You just need to find the supervisor from our university or from TalTech, specialization you have, and come up with an agreement so that it, in the end, is a master's project and not just pure programming something. But that's another possibility. That's the other extreme. And then, of course, there's anything in between, right? So that's just so that you know that. And then, finally, there's also what is called mobility window. You have a possibility to also study abroad. To study abroad and to do an internship abroad. Typically, you would do that in the third semester. Ideally, you would have finished your, you would have finished your core module and your specialization module, and also taken the first seminar, and then you might go abroad to some university in Europe, for example. There are special arrangements for that, and it's just some formalities. But then you can take, you should take courses that give you at least 15 ECTS, ideally a little bit more, so that you complete your program. And there are some rules that you have to do. You can take up to 2 electives, you can take a seminar course, etc. I mean, these are details. It's just to let you know that this is, of course, a possibility. And actually, I think we would also encourage you to do that. It's always good to collect some experience abroad. This is now looking like really just the part of the slide, just looking like the studying abroad. But there's also a traineeship mobility. That means you could also, probably then for a shorter period, go to work in a company abroad and get your part of your internship credits. The procedure is exactly the same as if you did an internship here in Estonia. You have to make a plan first. It has to be agreed by the practice module, let's say, director, and then you just do it, right? Okay, I'm almost at the end now. Remember, 15th of March is the application deadline. You know, for the Estonian students, oh, by the way, this is still my slide for the international students. You will submit your applications through the SICE system. And also for you, this information about tuition fees and so on is probably most of the time not relevant, because we have 31 tuition waiver seats in the program for European Union citizen, which of course includes Estonia or Estonian citizens. Only if we really have a boost and have like 50 applications from Estonia and you really want to do it, then we would have to find other ways, probably. But so far, that should be. And on top of that, there exist possibilities to apply to scholarships once you have started. Some of the scholarships you see here from our Institute webpage, they are only for international students, but most of them are for all types of students, Estonian, European Union, international, or third country students. And that is where you can apply once you have started studying. And of course, they usually are like performance related. If you get good grades, you have a better chance to get higher scholarships. That's it. Thank you very much. I cannot stay here because I have a meeting at 5 p.m. And anyways, you want to continue in Estonian. I'm always in my office every day. You can come just drop by my office or drop me an email if you have further questions. I'm always willing to answer questions. Thank you very much.